I'm just gonna start running for anything that isn't a Marlboro. Found one. No! Only one hit. I can't fuck up now. Yes! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Yes! And now we grab the balls. Grab them gently, though. They're kind of sensitive, okay? I'll stand right on your dick. I'm gonna jump on it. Jump on your dick. Jump on your dick. Jump on your dick. Jump on your dick. Reach out and touch me, baby. Man, that is the shittiest roll of toilet paper ever. Get it? I'll see myself out again. Let me give you a tip. Don't ever stand in front of a dragon when he sneezes. He can't control his fire at that point. He will burn your ass. Take it from a dragon. I know. Ugh. 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 I really hate to say this, but his rectum is truly his critical spot. As I was doing the most damage when I was shooting him right in his ass crack. Say, you okay, Jack? You okay, bro? Cool. Good talk.
Hello, old friend. I've chased you for a long time.
Savathun, the Witch Queen. She infiltrated the Vanguard, weakening us from within. Stealing our most sacred resource. The light.
How do we stop this?
Welcome back, oh honored guest.
It is the mind that must bend to see the truths hidden here.
The game is yours to play now. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
Everybody put your hands in the air and say, holy shit! Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. I am the Crimson Dragon. So glad to have you here on this Tuesday morning. I was going to say afternoon. I forgot it was still morning. It's Tuesday morning. I am very excited. It's for the first time since November of 2020, we finally have a new expansion releasing for Destiny 2. The last time, like I said, was November 2020. The Beyond Light the Beyond Light expansion released. So it's been over a year. Back in the day, the new yearly expansions were coming out every September. But after the COVID pandemic, they pushed back Beyond Light to November of 2020. Well, we didn't even get an expansion at all in 2021. We didn't get any expansion at all until 2021. What is coming out today should have been 2021's expansion. But regardless, it's here on 2/22/22. Very appropriate, I might say. So let's get started. I look forward to this very, very much so because I always enjoy every expansion that comes out with Destiny because it's always been, the big yearly expansions have always been impressive in some way or another. It's always been something that really makes me go, damn, that is awesome. There is yet to be a yearly expansion that hasn't done that. But first, let me say hello to 2 new followers since the last show. If I can get their names pulled up here. Hang on. Newbo had followed during the Portal stream yesterday. Pound Town Adventures, a friend of Summer Stream, Elven Chaos Gaming. Thank you for your follow. We are now at 210 followers. Thank you all so very, very much for that, helping me pull away from that 200 mark that I was just hovering by and around for the longest time. Thank you all so very, very much for helping me get away from that 200 and head toward our next goal of 300. Thank you very, very much for that. I greatly appreciate it. And now let me say hello to Deegs, who was first in the chat and also claimed first in the chat with his Krim Stones. 20 Dragon Cookies to you, Mr. Deegs. Always glad to have you in here. Hope you're having a fantastic day over there in the Ireland lands. And thank you for calling out your holy shit. I hope you had your hands in the air when you did it too. Nom nom. Good to see you, Diggs, as always. Pleasure to have you all in here today. Now, I haven't started the game yet because I know that sometimes when you launch Destiny 2 after an expansion releases, you go right into a trailer or like an intro video. So the game isn't even pulled up yet. I've got it updated and everything. It's ready to go, but I haven't even launched the game yet. So we're all going to get to check this out fresh. And by the way, I hope you all enjoyed the little Witch Queen trailer that I put up there in the video or the stream just before I actually got started here. That's the actual launch trailer for Destiny 2 in case you hadn't seen it before, or for Witch Queen if you hadn't seen it before. So with that said, here we go. Let's see how Destiny 2 rolls. Witch Cream, yeah. We finger her so good she creams all over us. Wait, what did I say? Music's definitely different. Which I'm thankful for because honestly the Beyond Lights music when you started the title screen was terrible. I hated it. That starting like boom was like, oh god. Destiny 2 is a capacity. I shouldn't have been surprised by this. Normally the Destiny 2 expansions go live, like the game is brought back up, the servers are brought back up around noon Central Time. But when I got on at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, the update had already been applied. So I was like, okay then. That's why I'm starting the stream so early. I didn't think I was going to go live until like noon. But I'm like, well, it's up, it's going. Might as well jump in. So I guess for a little while, we'll sit here and talk while we wait to be connected in. Which this is not a surprise. This happens every time there's a new expansion. The whole queued up thing. But I'm really looking forward to obviously the story. Apparently, the Witch Queen, who is Savathun, those of you who've been following the story of Destiny 2 knows who that is. Savathun has been talked about in game since Destiny 2's release. One of the strikes that unfortunately has been vaulted now on Titan, a planet that's also been vaulted in the vanilla Destiny 2, was called, or the boss of that area was called the Song of, actually the boss, the strike was as well, was called the Song of Savathun. It was a giant shrieker, which so that was our first reference to Savathun, and I'm sure Savathun was probably mentioned in like the Grimoire in Destiny 1 at some point. Savathun was mentioned a few different times in the end of a certain strike. Which strike was that? I want to say... Okay, Savathun herself, I remember which strike it is now. It's the Lake of Shadows strike on Earth. It wasn't a direct. It wasn't specifically mentioning Savathun herself. It was mentioning Oryx's sisters, which, if you're again familiar with the story of Destiny 1, Oryx was the raid boss of the first major expansion of Destiny 1 called The Taken King. And we're dealing now with his sister, Oryx's sister, Savathun, who is the, apparently, Witch Queen. Now, why the king and queen are brother and sister is creepy, at best. Hey, Jose, welcome in. Say, fuck class, I'm watching this. Hey, sounds good. Right now you're going to be watching a queue screen, because apparently the Destiny servers are overloaded with players right now, which, you know, again, no surprise. Nobody is surprised by this. Every game that has a big expansion, everybody rushes in to play it. Even people who don't normally play at this time probably woke up early or late, depending on where in the world you might be playing from, and are trying to pack into the game. So the so the servers are like, wait a minute. You know, it's like a woman getting pounded by 6 different guys. Eventually, she's going to go, wait, somebody take their dick out. Well, I mean, she'll try to say that. She won't be able to. She won't actually be able to say it, because I'm sure there's going to be one down her throat. So it'll be more like, you know, something like that. But when I go into an expansion like this, I always try to think back of like how we led up to this point. What are the events in Destiny that we're aware of up to this point? You know, there's the awakening when you're first woken up in Destiny 1 in the Cosmodrome near the edge of that, you know, cliff or whatever. By the way, thank you for the love and the like on the show as well, Deegs and Jose. I've got to say thank you for those. You're woken up on the edge of that cliff in the Cosmodrome in Destiny 1. And then you do all the events of Vanilla Destiny, which are kind of bland, admittedly, because the story wasn't really, the lore itself wasn't written very well and presented very well in Destiny 1's vanilla. The story didn't actually start getting told well until the first expansion, The Taken King. Even the first 2 mini expansions of Destiny 1 were not very fulfilling as far as like storytelling. There was some story told there, but it wasn't very deep. At least the way it was presented. I mean, the story was deep, yes, but the way it was presented wasn't very deep. And then Taken King came out, and they included like cutscene conversations, full FMV video cutscenes, pre-rendered cutscenes, which was, you know, very impressive. Huge leap from the way Destiny 1 started. And then after the Taken King, there was Rise of Iron. And then Rise of Iron was pretty much Rise of Iron was the last expansion for Destiny 1, because what technically would have been the let me get back into Rise of Iron. What Rise of Iron was a fallen house called the Fallen Devils, which we did deal with in the vanilla Destiny. One of the first main strike in Destiny 1 was called the Devil's Lair, and included a servitor, which was basically the fallen gods, essentially. That was who you fought, was essentially a fallen god in the Sepix Prime strike. Well, the Fallen Devils got a hold of what was called Siva, which is I think some kind of like golden age scientific experiment, if I understand it right. I was always a little bit lost on the origins of Siva itself. But Siva was located by, a long time ago, before even the Guardian awoke, by a group of Guardian-ish type people called the Iron Lords. And one of these Iron Lords was Lord Saladin, a man that you see in the tower every once in a while, hosting the Iron Banner PvP mode and special event stuff. Well, he had a story with characters and backstory and all that, and that was the Rise of Iron DLC, which introduced a new social zone to Destiny 1 called the Oh my goodness, I've got the name of the second social zone. But there was a second social zone, which was the first time there'd ever been a second social hub outside of the tower. But that was where the Iron Lords had regathered. Well, it's where Saladin had regathered, because there was the secret of Siva itself was hidden in that I guess essentially the Iron Lord's base, if you really want to look at it that way. The Fallen found out about it and invaded and got a hold of Siva, revived Sepix Prime, which is why you see Sepix looking the way he does in the Rise of Iron DLC. And so then you have to go out and stop the Fallen from, using the Siva to an extent, because it would make them extremely dangerous, even more so than they already were. So much so that they were augmented. Siva, it was sort of like, to me, Siva was sort of like the Borg from Star Trek in a way. Whereas like the Borg were already like biological beings using cybernetic enhancements to enhance and assimilate other cultures and other species. Siva was already an artificial life form. Was it life? I can't remember if it was actually like a form of life, but Siva was a thing. And Siva was found by the devils, and they started using the Siva to augment themselves. So they were like they voluntarily became assimilated, so to speak, into using artificial implants. And then they started experimenting with Siva on other species. There was a fallen devil. They call themselves the Splicers, by the way. Interesting Bioshock reference, even if it was a loose one. The devil Splicers were experimenting on other species, specifically the Hive. There was a fallen Archon that was augmenting a Hive Ogre. And that was a Witch Queen strike of Witch Queen. That was a Rise of Iron strike as well. Hey Annie, always good to see you. Good to see you, girl. Hope you're doing well. I've been missing you, Annie. I really wish I could stop by your show more often, but now that I finally I'm actually able to work again. Usually when you're on, I'm at work, and it's hard for me to actually chat and be involved in your stream when I'm working. I'm really sorry about that, but I'm glad to see you here, though. Always happy to see you. And then that was pretty much it for the Rise of Iron. There was like for Destiny 1. Near the end of the Destiny 1 lifespan, there was a sort of like a seasonal kind of thing called the Age of Triumph, which is basically they took everything from Destiny 1 and brought it back up to the levels of power that Destiny 1 became near the end of its life cycle. Specifically, what I'm referring to is the strikes and the raids of Destiny 1. They were all like around, say, 100 to 200 power level, 100 or 200 light when they were originally released. And by the time Destiny 1's lifespan ended, the power level was 400. So they brought those strikes and raids back, made a few modifications to their mechanics, excuse me, and brought the power levels of, they called it light level back then, the light levels of the raids to 400, which is which is the maximum. So it was nice to actually go back through there and get new gear. It was sort of like, in a way, you could kind of think of the Age of Triumph as like Destiny 1 remastered in a really interesting way. It's a good way to look at it. They remastered the strikes. Essentially, they gave you new weapons and gear that fit the Triumph theme, if you will, with all kinds of different armors and weapons. Like, their designs were different. I think they modified the raids a little bit they changed like some of the mechanics. Like, for example, the first encounter against the Templar, which is the first boss in the Vault of Glass raid, they modified it to where there was like an additional mechanic you had to deal with while you were fighting the boss. I'm glad they had you here, Annie. Really glad to have you here. Okay, sounds good. Enjoy your lurk. If you get a chance, let me know what you're fixing. I'm always curious when somebody says they're making dinner, what they're eating, because I need to make me some like actual decent meals instead of just throwing things in the microwave. That's what happens when you're single. And that was pretty much the sum of Destiny 1. And since you popped in here real quick, I wanted to just, you don't have to answer real quick, but I just wanted to say real quick that if you guys have the opportunity, message me sometime. I'd love to talk to you about, possibly doing some like collaborations or something at some point if we have a way to like, synchronize our times, because I know you stream at a completely different time than me. Anyway, back to Destiny. Once after Age of Triumph, when server offline, what? Final pieces are being placed, no peeking. I always peek. Trust me, I always peek. Taking photos for later. After the second big expansion to Destiny 1, which was Rise of Iron, what would have been the next big expansion to Destiny 1 was actually vanilla Destiny 2. Basically the whole Red War, like peekaboob. I definitely peek at some boobs if I had the opportunity. I am a guy. So yeah, the red what started Destiny 2, the vanilla Destiny 2, what they call the Red War, would have essentially been the next expansion to Destiny 1. And that was for those of you who are playing Destiny 2 now are not able to experience the Red War content. Everything that happened in Destiny 1, if you purchase Destiny 1, you can play the entire series of the entire game from beginning, including all the expansions, all the way to the end of the game, completely. They didn't vault any of the Destiny 1 stuff. It's all there, can be played at any time. I do occasionally play it sometimes. I look forward to actually getting BMO and maybe Jose in there to play it as well, because there's some stuff that happens in Destiny 2 that if you know the story if you know the Destiny 1 stuff, it makes a little more sense, and it's like a nice little reference to it as well. Not that if you see that stuff in Destiny 2 and you haven't played Destiny 1, you're missing out on a big plot point. That's not the case. It's just that it would be it's more of a nod to Destiny 1 than like a huge reference. But referring back to the Red War, if you didn't, do you play Destiny 1? We get to what I was trying to say. In Destiny 1, you can play all the content of Destiny 1 at any time. None of it's vaulted. Those of you starting Destiny 2 who did not play Destiny 2 on its release, you missed out on the Red War. And what that was, there was a Cabal general by the name of Gaul. He used a special device that ensnared and caged the Traveler. That big white ball that hovers over the last city. He caged the Traveler, blocking the light from reaching Guardians. So even you, as a Guardian, were unable to use the light. You were not able to. You were not able to use any of your light abilities. You had no light powers. You could use weapons. You could use guns because the guns didn't require light power. But you couldn't use your super. You had no like special melee ability. Your grenade didn't work. You couldn't double jump. All of that was disabled because of what Gaul did to the Traveler. And the ghosts were severely hampered in their power, and the ghosts were not able to revive you because they used the power of light to revive you. So by the story of the lore, if you die as a Guardian without the light or without your ghost, you are dead permanently. You cannot be revived by your ghost. And so like the first, like the prologue of Destiny 2's vanilla story is you are by yourself fighting against some cabal forces that are trying to hunt you down, and we're doing it without light. All you had is just your guns and your fist. You can punch. Even the warlocks didn't have their warlocks use their palm to attack and use light to like burst out their hand attack. When you're playing as a warlock in that campaign, you can only punch. You don't actually even change the animation to where you don't do a hand like show me the hand kind of thing. They don't even have that. You literally just have to punch even as a warlock. But eventually you discover what they call a shard of the Traveler, which is basically a broken piece of the Traveler that I guess fell off before, or like right when he arrived on Earth or something. And you go up to that, and apparently there's enough light in that shard that the Guardian is able to revive his powers. And that is why your light powers in the beginning of Destiny 2 differ so greatly from your light powers in Destiny 1, at least lore-wise, because your light powers in Destiny 1 were strictly given to you from the Traveler himself. I don't know if it's a he or she, but strictly from the Traveler itself. The shard that you find is not the Traveler itself. It's just like a scrap. It's like a scrap of the Traveler. So your light is different because of that reason. Let me see something. Let me check Bungie's. See if it says server offline. I just want to see if it's down for a second or what's going on. Due to an unforeseen issue, PS4 required content is not yet available for download. Players using the PS4 version of Destiny 2, which is what I am, can download these files at 9 a.m. PST tomorrow. This was 11 hours ago, so this was obviously when it says tomorrow, it's referring to today. So I wonder if that means I need to back out and retry it, which is why. Because 9 a.m. Pacific would have been 11 my time. Does that mean I can't? Can I back out of this? No, it's. That's weird. Well, damn it. I thought the game was actually ready to play. 15 minutes ago, patch notes for Destiny 2 update are now available. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, and Season of the Risen are expected to become available in 1 hour, 9 a.m. Pacific. Damn, I thought the game was already ready. Hi, Pertu. Welcome to the show. So at 11 o'clock my time, so in about a half hour. So, okay, well, I guess in the meantime, since we're already live, there's no point in me actually, moving away from this. I guess I'll just turn this into a improvised, impromptu podcast. All right, let's talk. Apex. No. You'd probably get me into Splitgate more easily than you would get me into Apex. Anyway, after you discover the shard of the Traveler and you get your powers back, you go through you go through the rest of Destiny 2 and you fight it. I installed it a long time ago, played the tutorial, and never touched it ever again. I literally have never played any of Apex beyond the tutorial. So you go and you fight you do the Red War content. Along the way, you find ways to unlock more of the light, because you start with just one subclass, and it's usually like the modified subclasses that appear in that they change for Destiny 2. Like for the Hunter, the what was the arc or the blade dancer in Destiny 1 became the arc strider in Destiny 2. Instead of having 2 knives, you had a staff. Hey Holly, welcome to the show. We're doing a little bit of a impromptu podcast here for a bit because apparently Destiny is not updated like I thought it was. Lich Queen season is expected to become available in 1 hour. So about a half hour. I'll probably be sitting back in a queue line. For the Titan, the striker was changed. No. It was the defender. The defender in Destiny 1 became the sentinel in Destiny 2. Which in Destiny 1 you just had it was the void subclass. You just threw down a giant purple bubble, which you still can't do in Destiny 2, but in Destiny 1 that was all you did was just throw down a big purple bubble. Drop shield from Halo essentially. In Destiny 2 you got basically you became Captain America. You got a big round shield and you jumped around and you slashed it and you threw it and you that's what the void subclass became in Destiny 2 for the Titan. For Destiny 2's Warlock, what was the Sun Singer in Destiny 1 became the Dawn Blade of Destiny 2. In the first game, Sun Singer was more of a healer and very much of a buffer. When you triggered your subclass in Destiny 1, your Sun Singer, all your abilities, your 2 abilities, your grenade and your melee abilities recharge super fast. And if you had the setting, if you had the perk set in your skills list, if you're killed or you're downed while your super is fully charged, you could actually revive yourself in a super mode. So you had the Warlock Sun Singer, the Warlock Solar subclass in Destiny 1 had a self-revive, which was very, very, very useful, very helpful in many situations. Unfortunately, they took that away in Destiny 2, but they did give the Solar Warlock an attack ability. The super was now an attack super, whereas in Destiny 1 it was just a buffing super. So that was nice. And then so you get those. That's what you start with. You start with the Dawn Blade as a Warlock, the Sentinel as a Titan, and the Arc Strider as a Hunter. And then as the game progresses and the main story continues, you actually gain the other subclasses. You gain the other 2 that you didn't have, that you started with. And those 2, when you got them, were very much like the original versions of them from Destiny 1. The Void Walker for the Warlock, the Void Walker and Stormcaller were basically the same. So on and so forth. There was some modifications to what they did, but their overall name and what they did was the same. For example, in Destiny 1, the Warlock's Void Walker was a giant glob of void energy that just shot out and either went in a straight line because you use Lance, which is like one big one-handed Kamehameha blast at an enemy, or you had the big blob of purple goo that was the Nova Bomb, and it created a vortex and all that other stuff. In Destiny 2, you do have the vortex kind of thing, but you also have other abilities that are attached to it, like being able to absorb your grenade energy, and you would have a repeated self-heal. So it was called Devour, and if you absorbed your grenade energy, you had the Devour perk. Anytime you scored a kill, the countdown timer for the Devour perk reset. I think it was like a 5 or 10 second perk. And every time you scored a kill, that timer resets. So every time you took a hit, as long as you scored a kill, that timer reset and your health recharged instantly. Full recharge. So it was a really, really nice way to be a sort of a tank, if you will. As long as you were doing the killing, you're gonna survive. I use the other path that they give you in Destiny 2, where your super is basically a bigger giant blob of purple goo, but it moves very slowly, tracks enemies, and when it explodes, I think it actually explodes in a wider area and spreads out like smaller blobs of goo that track enemies as well. So the damage done, in my opinion, by the Nova Bomb in the slower Nova Bomb is a much wider area of effect because of the fact that those secondary orbs spread out over a longer distance and they track enemies that are somewhat nearby. Whereas the other one with the Devourer perk, it just leaves behind a vortex, and the enemies have to stay inside that vortex in order to take additional damage. If they don't stay in the vortex, then they don't take additional damage. So it's a little more like, DPS versus like one big blast. The big Nova Bomb is basically a nuke, destroys a wide area in one big burst. The Vortex version creates a bit of a damage over time style. So if you prefer damage over time, you'd want to go with the Vortex version. The big, if you want, like me, as much damage as possible in a single hit, go with the other version. But anyway, that back to the story. That's you get the other subclasses throughout the story of the Red War. And then the Red War ends. The next thing that happens after that are the 2 mini expansions that appear between the vanilla Destiny 1 and the first big expansion Forsaken of Destiny 1. The vanilla of Destiny 2 and the first big expansion of Destiny 2, which was Forsaken. In between that, there was 2 mini expansions called the Curse of Osiris and Warmind, which was Curse of Osiris talked about the Vex on Mercury, and Warmind referred to Rasputin, the Warmind, on Mars. Yeah, Holly is still installing. They apparently, I thought it was done because I pulled it up and the game was already patched, ready to go, and everything. But I just looked up Bungie's Twitter, and it says the Witch Queen and Season of the Risen. Season of the Risen is the first season for the new expansion. Are expected to become available in 1 hour, 9 a.m. Pacific. So, which would be 11 my time. So, in about 20 minutes, a little less than 20 minutes. So yeah. So that's why we're doing kind of an impromptu podcast. I was going to go live and go straight into the game, but it wasn't ready as much as I thought it was. Otherwise, I would have waited until it actually was ready. So, impromptu podcast. Welcome to a test run, if you will, of the Dragon's Tales podcast. I do intend to do a podcast pretty soon. That's the name I'm thinking about going for, the Dragon's Tales. And then I'll have, guest streamers like BMO and Holly and Chucker Kings and Chucker Kicker, that kind of thing. I really, really, really want to do this podcast thing. I'm really, really looking forward to it because I really want to do like something like that. I want to have like a, I've talked about this before. Those of you who don't live, I would say probably don't live in Texas because you might have heard about it anywhere in Texas. But if you don't live in the Dallas area of Texas, you probably never heard of this radio host. His name was Russ Martin. He was like, here's a name you probably would recognize. He was like Howard Stern, but slightly toned down. He was still kind of the edgy, like you can say, it wouldn't be wrong to call him shock jock. He was a shock jock in the Dallas area. Very huge, very popular. The number 1 show and absolutely hilarious. I loved his show. I've always wanted to do like a radio show / podcast kind of thing in the type of way he did. Russ Martin, he did his show. He drew his inspiration from Johnny Carson as well as Howard Stern, mostly Johnny Carson, and I'm sure many of you know who Johnny Carson is. I don't have to explain that. And so I wanted to make a podcast, a radio show that did the same thing, and that I drew inspiration from Russ. And so that's what I want to do with this podcast. I want this to be something like that. Dragon Tales with our special guest host, Comet. Yeah, he'll be. I'm sure he'll be visiting impromptu every once in a while as well. So this is kind of a test run of how I want it to work. I'm going to have a totally different scene here for something like that. I'm going to have like my face on like one side of the screen, my guest streamers on another part of the screen, and like the chat up there as well. So anybody who's their chat appears on the screen. So if I talk about what's in the chat, they'll see it they'll see what I'm talking about in case they don't see the actual chat for whatever reason. But I do tend to do it here on Twitch. I call it a podcast because that's just the name that I think it's commonly referred to as. Comet Tales with co-host Crimson Dragon. You aren't wrong on that one, Deegs. You aren't wrong on that one. There's been many times that I've said that I'm not this isn't really this is the Dragon's Lair, but I'm not the host of the show. Comet's actually the host of the show. I'm just kind of the mascot. Y'all don't come here to watch me play video games and make naughty sex jokes. Y'all come here to look at the cute Comet. We all know this. Who is currently over to my right asleep. But that's what I want to do with a podcast. I want to make a funny radio show. And again, I'm using the term podcast because that's what it's mostly associated as. But a radio show, essentially, where you can see our face, and I can make naughtier jokes that the FCC would allow me to do, and then be able to talk about things that I want to talk about. I have opinions, I have ideas, I have things that I want to say, and I want to meet and do them in. Originally, I just did streams for that. Just like regular video gaming streams. And I still want to do the video gaming streams, but I also want to have a radio show / podcast that does that, so I can kind of more exclusively do things that are not related to video games. Like I want to talk about maybe something in the news, or some things going on in the world. I'm still going to say no on the politics and religion, stuff, because, I just don't. But, that's what I really like to do. And I can't, as much as I would like to say that I could, I know that I can't do a podcast alone. I can't. I know that eventually I'm just going to run out of things to come up with. I do better when I have somebody either in the chat or in the video with me to converse with, to bounce ideas off of, to talk to, whatever. I've said before that back with my ex-girlfriend on YouTube, or when I did YouTube videos with her, some of my best videos were when she was in them, because our chemistry was good, and I had somebody to converse with and bounce off of. And that's just, I appear to just, my content seems better when I have somebody with me to converse with, to have chemistry with, to bounce ideas and conversations off of. When I'm just sitting here talking, it's just not as good. And many times I ramble, kind of like what I'm doing now. I know a lot of my stream is rambling. That's just how I am. I hate dead air, and that's the only way I can fill it is by rambling. But yeah, so now that we've jumped back off onto the podcast train here, let's see if we can get back on track to the Destiny train. After Destiny 2's first two big expansions, the first one involved Osiris, a guy that we know, and the Vex attacking Mercury. They were trying to change time to where they took over the entire universe. There's even an area where you see the sun of Earth darkened. It's actually completely infected by darkness. It's essentially a dark sun. It's a dark star. It's a purple star, because the Vex have controlled the entire universe. So there were time travelers. Then you go to the Warmind expansion, and what you're trying to do there is figure out exactly what the Warmind is up to, because the Warmind, Rasputin, suddenly woke up. And the reason is because Hive that were buried on Mars woke up as well, and began threatening the safety of the system with the worm god Zol, which is a strike boss as well. So then after that became the first big expansion of Destiny 2, which was Forsaken, and that expansion was the same level of change and improvements and fixes that Destiny 2 needed. the same level of fixes that Taken King provided Destiny 1. Whereas Destiny 1 had, very little story, like cutscenes and stuff like that led into Taken King, which had a bunch of cutscenes and story and details and stuff. You went into, they still had some cutscenes and stuff in Destiny 2's vanilla, but the game system itself was very lacking. Weapons were very generic. There wasn't really, the different. You could have like 10 different hand cannons, and they all pretty much felt and did the same thing. They didn't have any difference in stats by a very wide range, and perks were always the same as well. They didn't have randomized perks. When Destiny 2 started, or Destiny 2, when Forsaken started, they fixed all of that, gave you more flexibility in how you did the weapons. They added more perks to the weapons. They added more variability to the weapons, random weapon drops. They gave more variety to the stats of the weapons and armor, so on and so forth. So that was, when Forsaken is what made Destiny 2 good again. Not trying to sound like Donald Trump here, but that was what Forsaken did. And now, as of today, Forsaken has been pushed. Forsaken and the, as we already know, the Red War has now all been vaulted. And then we go on, and the next expansion after Forsaken was Shadowkeep, where they bring back a Destiny 1 character, Eris Morn, which you saw in the Taken King. That was the first time you saw Eris Morn was in Taken King. Actually, the first time you see Eris specifically was in the first mini expansion of Destiny 1, but she was referenced. She played a bigger role in the Taken King the Taken King expansion. But in Shadowkeep, she was taking a bigger role again, because Shadowkeep is when the pyramid ships arrive. Those who are, again, unfamiliar with the Destiny 2 vanilla lore, at the end of Destiny 2, you defeat Gaul, and the Traveler wakes up. You physically, the Guardian, physically defeat the Traveler. Guns, you supers, all that stuff. You physically defeat him. But the light that he's absorbed turns him into this monstrous creature that looks like he came out of a pile of emulsion from Gears of War. I'm not kidding. He looks like he's covered in emulsion from Gears of War, and he's tall. He's massive. He's like 3 miles tall. He's huge. The Traveler wakes up, breaks out of its cage, and uses its light. It uses its light to kill Gaul and spread light throughout the universe. In the process of doing that, the Traveler accidentally signals a group of pyramid-shaped ships out on the edge of the universe, edge of the galaxy, wherever it is, wherever they happen to have been. They just woke up. And then when Shadowkeep came out, those pyramid ships finally arrived. The pyramid ships that had apparently been stalking the Traveler since the Traveler helped out the Fallen, the Elixni, the way it did, woke up and finally, or the pyramid ships finally reached Earth, or reached the solar system. And that's why we see the pyramid ships all over the place. The pyramid ships, no, that's not true. That's Beyond Light. I'm thinking too far ahead. The first time, the whole thing about Shadowkeep is the Hive are awoken on the moon. Eris's attention is brought to it, and she discovers that there is a pyramid ship, like the ones that the Traveler woke up, buried under the moon. And the pyramid ship has taken control of those Hive and is trying to, do what the Hive do. The pyramid ship created nightmares, and they took enemies of the Guardian's past, the fanatic from the Forsaken DLC, Crota from the Crota DLC in Destiny 1, the Crota's End raid in Destiny 1, Gaul from the beginning of Destiny 2. He took all the big major villains, I wouldn't say all of them, most of the big major villains from Destiny 1 and 2 and brought them back to haunt the Guardian, because that's what the pyramid ship was trying to do, was haunt you and fear you and inspire fright and scare you and fear in the heart of the Guardian. Took your deepest fears, in this case, in the case of the Guardian, the hardest enemies you've ever fought, and brought them back to life. For the case of Eris, her worst fear was the pain of losing her entire fire team during her attempt at raiding the Crota's End DLC. Essentially, Eris Morn, she had a fire team of 6 and went down into the Hellmouth on the moon in Destiny, before the events of Destiny 1, to confront Crota, who at the time was a very powerful hive. He was the son of the Taken King, Oryx. Eris's entire fire team, except her, was killed, and she was scarred for life, which is why she has three lit up eyes. She was scarred by the hive. That's why she has 3 glowing eyes. And her biggest fear is the fear of letting down her fire team, because probably survivor's guilt is essentially what it is. She was the only one to survive the events, and she's haunted by the 5 other members of her fire team. And the pyramid ship was feeding on that fear. And so that's what the whole thing about Shadowkeep was. And you go into the pyramid ship, and it's very, very. If you really understood the depth and the meaning of the horrors that the pyramid ship was trying to impose on the Guardian, on you as the Guardian, maybe as the player too, if you're aware of it enough. The whole thing about the pyramid ship and that last cutscene where your doppelganger, whatever that duplicate of you, comes up to you and says, "We are not your friend. We are your salvation." If you knew and understood what the pyramid ship was trying to do at the end of the Shadowkeep DLC, you would understand just how scary that was. Your strongest enemies up to this point have been the Fanatic. They have been Crota, Oryx, Omnigul, the Gaul, the major bosses, the huge, major villain bosses from all 3. Was there a Vex version? I don't think, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think there was a Vex boss. I don't think there was. I mean, the only real big Vex boss there would have been the Vault of Glass boss. But I don't think there was. I don't think that boss was in there. But pretty much, let's just say the biological races, I guess, all the major biological race bosses came back to in that DLC. And the fact that the pyramid ship we created them, that made the entire Shadowkeep DLC very creepy for players like me who have been there since the beginning and knew the depth and the fear and the danger that those bosses, both lore-wise and gameplay-wise, provided you or thrust upon you, so to speak. And then after the Shadowkeep DLC, we had smaller seasonal stuff, which I think the seasonal content kind of took the place of the mini expansions that came out at the beginning of Destiny 1 and the beginning of Destiny 2. How I mentioned that in the beginning of Destiny 2, between Vanilla and Forsaken, you had the Curse of Osiris and Warmind DLCs. I think the seasonal stuff that came out replaced those, because there was some story that went along with those seasonal contents that were specifically for those seasons. And so there was mini stories that was going on throughout each of the years, most of which kind of got lost on me because I didn't always play it all. Many times the story was a weekly thing. Every little bit more of the campaign or the story of that season was a weekly thing, and I didn't always keep up with it every week. Sometimes it involved me doing a specific event, which I didn't really want to do. Many of those events just got boring after doing it so many times, like astral alignment. The menagerie was pretty fun because it was varied, but the astral alignment stuff at the end at the during the Beyond Light year was kind of lackluster. It was very much the same thing over and over again. That got boring on me pretty quick. So I didn't really follow up much on the story very well of the astral alignment and the things involving Savathun. But that was, that was my problem with those seasonal things, is if I don't do it every week, I don't keep up with it, I kind of lose interest. Especially if I have to do a boring event in order to progress the plot once a week. It just didn't grab me. I prefer a campaign that you have to go through, like you did at the Vanilla 1, Vanilla Destiny 1, Vanilla Destiny 2, Taken King, Forsaken, so on and so forth. I prefer stories told like that. I prefer a campaign over a weekly story told through an activity. But then after Shadowkeep, the next season, the next expansion, which would have been in September, they pushed it back to November because of COVID, was Borderlands. Yeah, the next expansion to Destiny was Borderlands. Whew, that would be interesting. A Borderlands Destiny crossover. Whew, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Next expansion for Destiny was Beyond Light, where the pyramid ships finally arrive. The pyramid ships finally reach the solar system, this time for sure, and the only thing about the thing about the pyramid ships is they were just imposing. That's all they were. There wasn't anything about the pyramid ships during Beyond Light other than that they were imposing. They were there and they just loomed and just like a creepy stalker just staring at you from a distance. That's all they were. There was very little else to the pyramid ships. Now, on Europa, which was the planet that was released with the Beyond Light DLC, was a fallen matriarch, I guess, of some sort, named Araxis. No, what was her name? That wasn't Araxis. What the hell was her name? She wasn't a very compelling villain, in my opinion, obviously, because I don't even remember her name now. But whatever her name was, I can't believe I'm completely, brain farting on it. But she had the power of stasis, which was the first subclass available to Destiny players that was not a light-based class. It was truly a darkness subclass. I will take a second here to restart, close the application, see if I can get in now. Because the queue screen was locked up. It was still moving, but it was locked up, sort of. Check for update. It's installed. Okay, let's go ahead and try running Destiny 2 again, see what happens. So the whole thing about Beyond Light was, hence why it was called Beyond Light, is that for the first time you were able to access a subclass, that you got a fourth subclass that was not light. It was strictly a dark subclass. You're actually using the power of the darkness. Power is the opposite of the light. Okay, now we're doing the required content bundle. Where's my downloads here? Wow. Whew. May have to actually go play something else while we're waiting, because I can only talk so much. And I don't have anything ready for this, so this is going to be great. Hopefully these downloads go quickly. It says 56 minutes and 40 minutes. What if I do them one at a time? If they'd be faster. If I pause this one, and pause this one, that would go faster. I do them one at a time, maybe. But Beyond Light was the Guardian kind of having a how would you say, a conflict of interest, maybe? I don't know what you'd really want to call it, but you're a Guardian, born of the light, for since 2014, using nothing but the light to defeat the enemies of the darkness, and now you're offered the opportunity to utilize the powers of the darkness. It was very interesting because the darkness has always been associated with evil, and there's the conflict of wondering, the concern, if you start utilizing the powers of the darkness, will the powers by their very nature make you evil, make you do evil things? And it's a you could say that it's a way to prove that even though you're using the powers of evil, you are not evil yourself. I think that's in a way, if you were to say the moral of the story, if you will, that's in a way what Beyond Light was trying to do. And that's it. The expansions after the mini expansions after Destiny, after Beyond Light, were, especially the last season, were based around Savathun, the aforementioned Savathun that we were talking about, the obviously Witch Queen, who is in this expansion here. Let me refresh the Bungie Twitter here. See if they said anything. Destiny 2 has been brought back online. An update is playable on all platforms and regions. Ongoing Destiny 2 maintenance is expected to conclude at 10 a.m. Pacific. So noon Central. Players who observe issues should report to the help forum. So I still have the right idea. Probably should have gone ahead and waited till noon to go live with Destiny. But the fact it was already updated, I thought that meant it was ready to go. Oh well, I'll just stay on. I guess just talk to you guys. Maybe, play something on here that'll, kill time. I don't know what it could do. But anyway, Savathun, who is the Witch Queen, was clearly trying to sneak her way into our good graces, obviously manipulating things, because she's a hive queen. She had used her worm to take over Osiris. So the Osiris in the season, the mini seasons that followed Beyond Light, there was one where the Fallen, the Elixni, were in danger of being wiped out. One of the houses, the House of Salvation, wanted to break away from the Fallen Elixni that were still essentially working against the Guardians. And so they made an alliance essentially with the Vanguard and the Guardians. In doing so, that season I know very little about lore wise because I didn't participate in it very much. Again, because of the same reasons before. The weekly content I had to do in order to be involved in order to see the story wasn't really worth my interest in playing. As much as I wanted to do the story, I didn't want to do the event, the activity that was associated with that story. So I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but apparently Lakshmi, who was the future War Cult's representative. Let me back up a little bit on that. Back in Destiny 1, there were 3 factions that had representatives. They were groups that sort of had their own agenda in a way, but they were still working for and working on in favor of the Vanguard's goal, but they had their own agenda to come up to help them reach that goal, and they didn't always agree on what those agendas were among each other. They were the New Monarchy, Dead Orbit, and Future War Cult. Future War Cult was their representative was Lakshmi. Well, no, it's after 11. It's the game itself is up, but now it's got an update. Apparently, the downtime we were dealing with just now was the game being down while they installed the updates to the game itself on their servers, on the Bungie servers. Now that it's 11 o'clock, now us as the players have to install those updates as well, and that's what's happening right now. So yeah, I got like close to 50 gigs of installation to do. So yeah. So I may be having to go do something else because while these are installing, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be another hour probably before I'm able to play. But apparently Lakshmi was doing something to betray the last city to the Vex. And Osiris was a part of that. But the only reason Osiris was a part of it, Osiris was trying to stop that from happening. Was trying to stop Lakshmi. And the only reason he was doing that was because he was controlled by Savathun. Savathun knew what was going on. Now, Savathun knew that Lakshmi was trying to betray the last city and used Osiris as an avatar to stop Lakshmi. And she was doing this to try to gain favor with the Vanguard and the Guardians. Because it was all a setup. Savathun planned everything during the events after Beyond Light because she was trying to look like, she didn't know what was going on, but she knew how to stop it and look, hey, look what I did for you. You trust me now, right? Meanwhile, you trust me now, right? While I have a knife behind my back, that kind of thing. Dare you try Apex? No, Deegs, I really don't want to end up with an aneurysm before I go try to play Destiny. Thanks, though. I might just go play Splitgate. I can handle Splitgate. That'll probably be a good time killer while this stuff downloads. Although I don't know if I really want to play. I don't know if I really want to play an online game and a actual multiplayer game online while this is downloading. I'd really rather have all the internet focused straight on this download. So. But yeah, that was the whole thing with the Fallen. Is the Fallen were trying to run from essentially Lakshmi's betrayal, and Osiris was controlled by Lakshmi to stop her as well. And then with Lakshmi, then after that, Savathun was imprisoned in crystal, or some form of stasis, I guess, by Mara Sov, the absolutely hot waifu of mine, Mara Sov, and in the Dreaming City. And you unlock more story stuff every week by doing the Astral Alignment missions, the Astral Alignment event, which bored me to death. I didn't want to do it, so I'm a little spotty on information there. But some of that story is about the return of Uldren Sov, who was controlled by the boss of the Forsaken DLC back in the day. Uldren Sov was being controlled to bring back the dead Fallen into what was called the Scorn, and murdered Cade 6. Uldren Sov did. And so we hunted him down and killed him. Well, at the beginning of the last season of the Beyond Light stuff, Uldren Sov had a ghost bring him back. So now he's basically Uldren Sov is now our guardian. He's called the Crow now. And just like we, as the guardian, we don't remember our past life before we died and were resurrected at the beginning of Destiny 1. We don't know what our past life was before that. Well, Crow doesn't remember either. Crow doesn't remember his life before he was revived revived into the Crow. So he doesn't remember betraying the Guardians and murdering Cade 6. And he doesn't even know that he's Mara Sov's sister, or Mara Sov's brother. He doesn't know that. He knows who Mara Sov is. He knows she's the Queen of the Awoken, but he doesn't know she's his sister. And so you're kind of like unlocking some of the story, or some of Crow sort of rediscovering who he was back then. Void subclasses have been updated to the 3.0 system. You can now choose a selection of supers, abilities, aspects, and fragments to craft your Void build. Yes, I am so looking forward to this! This is what I've really been looking forward to, is the new subclass stuff. I'm going to update and repost on Facebook and everything that Witch Queen's finally live and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and post on Facebook and Twitter again. So if you haven't already, don't forget to share the stream out to everybody that you know who'd like to see the show. Took long enough, didn't it? 1350. Everybody's minimum light level is now 1350. So if you didn't reach 1350 during the previous content, you'll be 1350 now.
In times of crisis, people look to their leaders for answers. But ever since the planets were ripped from our sky, it seems all I can offer are more questions. And now, with Mars returned,
Mars has returned.
To start.
Mars was one of the worlds that was swallowed by the darkness in when they first started vaulting content.
Where is she?
She is obviously Eris. Well, she could be Anna Bray, because Anna Bray was on Mars when it was swallowed, but it's obviously Eris because we're dealing with the Hive.
Your theory was correct. The relic is of the pyramids. There's no doubt.
Word is out about Mars.
I need more time.
The Cabal are mobilizing. We need to...
And of course it's the Cabal. That's where you first met the Cabal, was on Mars.
Secure the camp!
Was that some... Were they... guys, Junon called from Final Fantasy VII. They want their cannon back.
Wait. It seems they have another target.
What are they aiming at?
Oh, the Hive ship that just decloaked. It kind of looks like one of the ships from the Trade Federation in Star Wars, the first prequel. Kind of looks like they took the Hellmouth and just cut it in half, and then made it fly. Oh, that's a new screen. Uh, 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 what? Be brave. This is a classic Destiny 2 campaign enjoyed alone or with a fire team of friends. Rise to a higher level of challenge in this legendary version of the Witch Queen campaign enjoyed alone or with a fire team of friends. Classic Destiny 2 campaign. Explore the domain of the Witch Queen and shed your light upon her schemes. This is a classic Destiny 2 campaign enjoyed alone with friends or involved. So it's just difficulty. Rise to a greater challenge in this legendary version of the Witch Queen campaign. You will face harder missions and stronger combatants. Recommended for experienced players with a broad arsenal to draw upon. Gear bundle 1520 power. My god. Upgrade modules plus 8, a higher truth. So what we're looking at here is we've got like normal mode and then we've got hard mode for the entire campaign. That's cool. I like that. I really do. I like that. I'm gonna do the easy mode obviously first, but I like how they gave the campaign a legendary mode, a hard mode for the campaign. They have had hard modes in like strikes and raids before. Now they're including hard mode in the campaign as well. That's cool. I like that. We're gonna do the easy mode. The Arrival on Mars. All right. Subclass 3.0. Your void subclass been updated to the new subclass 3.0 system. Open your character screen to see more. I certainly do. I know we have story mode here, but I want to see this new 3.0 shit. I didn't put my new gear on it. Hold on, I need to put my gear back on here. I was messing around in Destiny the last couple of days with my hunter. I need to put my gear, my correct gear back on here, including my sunshot and stuff. So let me get my crap back off my hunter. Hunter was just kind of a time filler. Oh no, you have to it restarted? Why? That's bad. That sucks. Sorry about that. Hunter. Okay. Fractithist goes to. So you know what? Hold on. Wait, it's the wrong one. Let me equip. Let me equip this, and then transfer this. And this one. I found a new shotgun that I want to give a try. It's called the Wastelander M5. Kind of like how it, those stats and everything looked on it, and the perks on it, so I want to give it a try. I haven't actually given it an official, like, practice or actual try yet, so we'll see. And then equip that. So transfer the Bad Omens over to the Warlock. Cool. There we go. Now I can get all my stuff right. With the Fractithist, oh, I gotta change up this, and then Fractithist. Sunshot. There we go. All right. I'm so excited about the new subclass 3.0 stuff. Here we go. I love the Voidwalker. I can't wait to see what they've done with it. Oh, it looks just like the Stasis stuff. Okay. All right. I'm okay. I'll be okay. All right. Healing Rift, Empowering Rift. Okay, that's the same. Burst Glide. Balance Glide, Strafe Glide, Blink. Yeah, okay, I'm fine with what I've got. Pocket Singularity. Launch an unstable ball of void energy that detonates when it nears a target, pushing them away from the blast and making them volatile. Making them volatile? So what, like Bloom? So I have Bloom with my all my abilities, and I could throw a like straight shot that causes bloom. Scatter grenade. Oh, we have more grenades here. Magnetic grenade, a grenade that attaches to targets and explodes twice. That's the. Wait a minute. That's the grenade that the Defenders used to use in Destiny 1. Void Spike, that's also a Destiny 1 grenade. Void Wall, that's a Hunter Destiny 1 grenade. And Suppressor Grenade, that's a Destiny 2 grenade. Suppression, the target is taken out of any active abilities and cannot activate any abilities or movement modes while suppression persists. Inflicted combatants cannot fire their weapons. So they put all of the grenade types from the other classes into here as well. And since I have Axion Bolt, Vortex Grenade, and Scatter Grenade now, does that mean those are the 3 grenades that come with the Warlock? When on the Titan and Hunter, do they start with their 3 and have access to the Warlock grenades? Because that is cool. If that's how it works, that is cool. What's this? Nova Bomb Vortex. Hurl an explosive bolt of void light at a target, disintegrating those caught within its blast. Nova Bomb creates a singularity that pulls targets inward and continuously damages those trapped inside. That's new, because it didn't do a singularity before. It just created a vortex before. Nova Warp. Okay, that's the teleporting version, where you can you just burst your void energy out. That's what I currently have. Cataclysm. Okay. So this is what I've been using. This is the default version that I've had before. This is the one I've been using. Travels slowly and seeks targets. Detonations shatter into smaller secret projectiles. Well, I'm still going to go with this because this is what I've been using, so I'm most familiar with it. But I was kind of hoping that I would be able to have a little bit more options with that, but okay. I like the fact that you can still break down the different ways. Okay, what do we got here? Aspects. Chaos Accelerant. Press hold to overcharge your grenade, making it deadlier and more effective. Vortex Grenade increases the size and linger of the vortex. Axiom Bolt creates additional seeker. Scatter Grenade has sub-munitions tracked nearby targets. Okay. Releases a short-range void blast. Magnetic Grenade. So this is the so they'll allow you to actually customize more. This is what I was hoping for. In the original version of the subclasses, you had 2 paths that you could take. I could probably show you in the other subclasses. Like, so you got just 2 paths that you can take, and even if you switch to these classes or switch to these attunements, you lose the access to this. So say you like Ionic Blink. Let's just say you like that one, but you prefer the Landfall perk. You can't have the Landfall perk and the Ionic Blink perk because they're on two different paths. Whereas now you can actually use this grenade, use the Feed the Void, the Devour ability, which was only available if you were using this super, because it was on the same path. So if you wanted this super, but you wanted this ability, you wouldn't be able to do that. So you can actually customize it now. I love that. That is great. This is the way that the subclasses should have been since the beginning. Cast your rift to create a void soul. Oh my god! Oh, they put a void soul in here, so it's the same as the arc subclass. You throw down your rift. With the arc subclass, you get an arc soul, a little floaty arc ball that shoots enemies. Here, you've got the void version of it. When you damage a target with a weapon, your void soul flies at them and drains them, doing damage and weakening them. When a target is being drained, you are granted grenade melee energy if running healing rift, or health if running empowering rift. That's kind of weird. When the target is being drained with a healing rift, you get grenade melee energy, but you get health if you run the empowering rift. You'd think it'd be the reverse. Defeating a target who is being drained by your Void Soul grants class ability energy. Okay, it's nice, but not really that critical. This is what I like because I've always liked Devour. I've always liked to devour the Devour thing. Being able to charge up and throw your grenade and get extra damage, that's always nice. So I may stick with it for now because it's just what I'm used to. But I think in the future I may actually start using the Devour because the Devour, defeat a target with a void ability to activate Devour. While Devour is active, final blows restore health and extend Devour. So while you're under the perk of Devour, you kill an enemy while you're under that perk, under the effect of that perk, your health is restored, fully restored, and it makes the Devourer last longer. So as long as you're killing enemies, you can keep healing. I love that. So I'm going to consider that. For now, I'm going to stick with the Chaos Accelerant just because what I'm used to until I get through some of the campaign, and then I'll customize my stuff later. Wait, can I do both? No. I can do both? How? Wait, how? How can I do both? Oh, it's now a passive ability. Devour is now passive if you turn it on. The way it was before, again, when you have the Devour, when you're on the path where you have Devour, you could absorb your grenade. You charge up your grenade, but instead of throwing it with extra power, you absorb it into you, and that's how you activate Devour. Now, as long as you kill an enemy with a Devour, with a Void ability, you get the Devour perk. Oh my god, that is awesome! That is great! I love that. That is way better. Yeah, the Void Soul thing is nice, but not really. Pets are not my thing. Hang on a sec. Let me check something here. Okay. Let's see what the fragments are. Void ability final blows cause target to explode, so that's Bloom. I've had that before, so that's nothing new. Damaging targets with grenades grants melee energy. Meh. Melee final blows grant grenade energy. Meh. Your lingering grenade effects, Vortex Grenade, Void Wall, Void Spike, Axiom Bolt, have increased duration. Not bad. Not bad. Lingering grenade effects, which I don't have lingering grenades, so that probably wouldn't do me any good. Final blows when surrounded by combatants grant super energy. I tend to be surrounded often. Your Void Grenade weakens targets. Void buffs applied to you, Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour, have increased duration. I hate the fact that it takes away 10 recovery, but I like that. Because I will be taking advantage of Devour. Melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. I like that. Melee final blows start health regeneration. So if you're running low on health, punch a bitch. After suppressing a target, you gain greatly increased mobility for a short duration, and your equipped weapon is reloaded from reserves. I don't really care about increasing my mobility from suppression. While crouched, you sneak faster and gain enhanced radar resolution. Meh. Defeating targets with a grenade grants volatile rounds to your void weapons, which in my case would only be my rocket launcher. Which is really, really appropriate. Use a rocket launcher with volatile rounds. So I make an explosive weapon even more explosive. Defeating weakened targets with precision final blows will create orb of power. Meh. Finish your final blows, grant invisibility. Not really. I'm not really interested in that. Devour. Feast on the energy of defeated foes. Final blows restore you to full health, grant grenade energy, and extend Devour. Wait, why would I... Oh, picking up an orb of power grants Devour. Oh, wow. It rhymes. I just now realized that rhymed. Picking up an orb of power grants Devour. That would really make it last a lot longer, too, because holy crap. Okay, so that's definitely a good one for me. I need to unlock it, of course. That would be a good one. I like the fact that I can health regeneration for me and nearby allies. Be a drunk rocket of rocket power. I'll be drunk of just power in general. I want to be an explosive bitch. Melee final blows start health regeneration. I like the fact I can heal allies. So that's definitely one. So I've got 2. I like the fact that Devour would have increased duration with this on there. So that's 3. I don't have access to that other one, so I can't use it right now. So I have 2 that I can use right now. This is a good one. Voided final ability, final blows causes targets to explode. I do like that one, so I'll put 3 on there. I don't care about that one. I don't care about that one. I don't care about that one. Kind of like that one, but not critical, because I get super energy pretty quick. Okay, so, alright, I think I like the 3 that I'm going to go with right now, which is going to be this one, which increases my intellect, which is nice. Basically puts it at 64, which is really good. Voided final blows cause targets to explode. Yeah, it's Bloom. I like Bloom. I like the increased duration and health regeneration. I like that. I like that very much. Now, I can adjust my gear because now I have 111 points in resilience over here. See? I have 111 points, but it caps at 100. So having 111 doesn't do me any good. So I need to... I can change one of my armors here. I can take away the resilience stat increase because I don't need the extra 10 points on it. Okay, so what do I want to change? I have a 10-pointer on this one. Let's wonder what this was. Depreciated armor mod. Deprecated. Okay, well, I need to replace it with something. I'll worry about that in a second. I've got a 5-pointer on this one. Another deprecated armor mod. We have a 10-pointer on this one. 10-pointer on this one. And a 10-pointer on this one. No, 5-pointer on this one. Okay. Let's swap out one of the 10-pointers. Yeah, that way right now I don't have to worry about changing any of my mods right now. I just want to change the one mod. I don't want to adjust anything else at the moment because I've got I've got all those deprecated mods I want to get rid of. So what do we want to upgrade? Recovery. Let's do recovery. Intellect, always pretty good. Recovery requires 4 slots. I only have 3. Okay, then we'll do intellect then. I can't do a 10 intellect. Well, fit. I can only do 10 mobility or 10 grenades or 10 strength. What other 10-pointer did I have? Where's my other 10-pointer mod? This one? There's a 10-pointer. Okay. I can do 10 recovery here. So we'll do that. Yes. There we go. So what are my stats now? 101 resilience, 62 recovery. That is incredibly good. Incredibly good. All right. So what's the new clan banner stuff about? Increases public event rewards. Completing a clan vendor challenge awards up to 5 additional legendary shards. Completing a clan vendor challenge awards enhancement cores. That's a good one. Burn bonus trials reputation. I don't care about that. Unlocks additional weekly banner for Hearthorn. I don't care about that either. Okay. All right, then let's go then. I like what I've done so far with the void stuff. I think I like what I picked, and there's more stuff I can actually do, and I really want to. All right, I have 22 upgrade modules. I won't worry about using any more of those right now. Okay. All right, let's find Savathun. Somehow, I'm here. I have a ranged melee now. I gotta try to remember that.
Eris and I are establishing hidden operations near the cradle. What's your location?
The hell's the cradle?
We're in some kind of crop field.
What you see is a window into the Golden Age. Mars has returned with temporal instabilities, and Savathun's presence here is no coincidence.
We believe the reappearance of Mars drove her out of hiding, and our intel says she may be in a weakened state. The Cabal fleet is blocking the flight path onto her ship. We need you to find a way to get up there and track Savathun down.
This may be our only chance to strike.
Oh wow, that's cool. Look here. Look at this building. It's like partially like rebuilt because of the time distortion. And you got the wrecked version here. You got the perfect building here. So what happens if I walk into it? I don't know if I should walk into it or should I go around it. I don't know if I should walk into it. I'm afraid to. Okay, nothing happened. So this is what Mars was like before. You could actually grow crops on Mars. All right. That's a huge ship. Seriously, it looks like they took the helm out and cut it in half. Where am I going? Where am I? Agra Sector 24A, Freehold. Freehold? We're back on that part of Mars? Oh, look at that. You didn't see that since Io. That part there was back on Io. But we're back on Freehold, which is where we first saw the Cabal on Mars in Destiny 1. Let's see what my melee looks like. Woo! I have a ranged melee now with my Warlock. Hell yeah. Energy weapons deal more damage to shielded enemies. Match the energy color to the shield color causes powerful explosion. Okay, that I already knew. That hasn't changed. I don't like the fact these guys have red icons. That makes me uncomfortable. What'd be this? Fuel canister. Holy shit, it's huge. Why am I carrying this? Yeah. Come here, you scion bastard. Come here. I want to whack you with this heavy thing. Hasha! Oh, that was worth it. Thwack! Okay, that was too funny. Oh, I gotta put it in here. Okay. Thwack! Alright, here goes. I believe I can fly. Holy shit, that gun is huge. That's totally what she said.
I have an idea. Head inside and get me to a console.
Uh-huh. Find a way onto the Savathun's ship. Alright, hello. I see Devour's active. That's a 15-second timer, too. You're behind glass. You bastard. Yeah, that was hilarious, wasn't it? Here, bonk!
Bring me to the console. Let's see how this cannon works.
Watch me hit you with my big, long,
Savathun went into hiding thanks to
metal thing.
Marasab.
Thwack!
So why is she showing herself again so soon? Seems too reckless for a god of cunning.
I gotta stand here? I do. Okay, cool. This is Destiny 1 stuff. Stand in one spot and defend Ghost. Hi Shannon, welcome to the show. Just started. I mean, the stream hasn't just started. I've been playing Wheel of Fortune and Wheel of Fortune and Horizon Zero Dawn, waiting for Destiny to update, but it's finally updated, and we just started the Witch Queen stuff. And boy, do I love the Void subclass stuff. Oh my god, it's good.
Okay, got it. We need fuel, power, and projectile control. You'll be the projectile, of course. I know what you're thinking, but trust me. This will work. My plans always work. Let's start with opening the fuel lines.
Yeah, okay. My plans always work. Oh, hello. Yeah. Finally. It only took like, what, 2 hours? I think I went and I think I started actually trying to install Destiny at like noon. I know I started streaming at 10. I thought it was ready. I was wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. You know, I didn't check my armor to make sure it didn't change anything as far as my perks. Hope they didn't change the Ahamkara skull perk. Hope I still get my refunded super energy when I use it. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Hurtsy, 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 hurtsy. Man, it's been a long time since I've been, like... been a long time since I've been squishy as a warlock. You're shooting from behind. Alright, screw it. We're going for it. Let's see our... Look at the Nova Bomb. Well, that hasn't changed, but still. What's this? Wait. It's a giant wrench. Look at my wrench, ladies. It's so big. I'll crank you good with it.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Whack! Sojo's good at whacking. Whack!
One down, Guardian. One more to go.
I'm so amused by that, and I don't know why. Also, I just noticed that giant pipe wrench has a blade on it. Why would you put a giant sword on the end of your wrench? Talk about multitasking. An all-in-one utility tool. I need to unscrew this giant nut, and then I want to stab a bitch with it. Oh man, it's short range. I mean, I expected it because it's melee, but it's shorter range than I thought. I didn't even look to see if I got any super energy back. I used my super a second ago. Oh, another giant wrench. Let me stick my wrench in. Yeah. Let me use my wrench. Come here. Hi-yah! Hi-yah! Oh! It's been too long since I had this much fun with Destiny. Kind of get some Destiny 1 flashbacks, though, with us being back in Freehold. Locate generators that power the munitions lift. Hello. So you guys are still arriving with giant balls. Okay, I gotta get used to the range on that melee. I gotta get used to how far it shoots. Sure would like to see what they're going to do with the other subclasses, though. Well, actually, they're never going to change them, are they? The hell? What hit me over here? Got hit by a giant ball. What are you talking about? I didn't hit y'all with a giant ball. That dude popped up out of that hole like, I got him! I got him! Oh, shit. Oh.
You know, if I were a god of cunning, I wouldn't show up with a giant ship. It's like saying, here I am, come kill me. Or maybe Savathun's waving a red flag at a bull. Maybe we're the bull.
Well, I mean, her brother did the same thing. Oryx showed up with a giant ship on Saturn. That's exactly what I thought would happen. I can't use my ride. I gotta run. It's a long walk. Maybe I just went down that hole and I didn't need to. Wouldn't be the first time I've gone into a hole I shouldn't have. Maybe I do have to. Okay. Yeah, I need to go down here. Oh, I see. Ah, I fucked up. Oh, wait, I'm good. Ha ha! This is difficult. Not a platformer. Uh-oh. Dark Zone.
We need 2 override
Press
codes.
interacting with the campaign banner will refill your ammo and fully charge all of your abilities? Where's the campaign banner? Oh, so these are available in regular missions now, not just strikes. Okay, cool. Or, you know, well, strikes and raids. Damn. So I'll catch him in midair. Woo! Ouchie! Ouchie kabibbles! Yeah, I'm getting some back, so they didn't take away the ability to recharge my super on a kill with the Ahamkara spine. Oh, that's, don't shoot that.
Get me to that console. I'll activate the lift.
Loving the fact that I still have Devour. Always loved the Devour ability, but I've always hated the fact it was on that other path that I never liked. Y'all don't know how happy I am that they did Void 3, that they updated the Void subclass first. I wonder when they're going to do the others. Just genuinely curious.
Lift is active. You just have to adjust the trajectory.
Woohoo! A gift. How do we adjust the trajectory? We got what? Oh. We got to go up to elevator. Going up. I hope. "61st floor. Bikinis." Oh.
The Cabal came prepared for war. Not with us, but with Savathun. I wonder how they knew she was going to be here.
Oh, I was floor too short. Like, where the hell do I need to go? The entire room is enclosed. Surprise, motherfuckers! Launch onto 7th. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right, the cannon is aligning. Time to reload, Guardian. Don't worry, you'll be fine. But I'll stand by to revive, just in case.
I used that joke already with Cade back in Destiny 1. Thanks, though.
To my knowledge, no Guardian has ever been on Savathun's ship before. Either she's inviting us aboard, or she's so weak after that encounter with Queen Mara that she's getting clumsy. I'm hoping for the latter, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I know Mara Sov is quite the cute chick and good at what she does, but I don't think she's that good. I'm actually in the cannon. This is great. Oh my god! Woohoo! Ship! Wow, I somehow... I got fired out of a cannon and somehow softly land. And I didn't do it.
Ikora, we made it onto the ship, and we're seeing traces of void light. Seems like maybe another Guardian got up here first.
That's impossible. Perhaps we've acted too hastily. There are too many unknowns.
Savathun is the god of cunning. To wait for a moment when her intentions are clear, we would wait forever.
Not forever. Just until we can provide backup. Guardian, Eris and I are pinned down. If you turn back now...
Shannon doesn't stream, Josh. Shouting her out didn't help, but thank you, though.
Time, Ikora. This might be our only shot. Don't worry. We'll handle it.
Be careful.
This is the part... this... Hang on a second. Yes, by the way, I'm wearing a Destiny shirt. I don't know what the hell that was about. She knocked on the door and she doesn't speak English. She was speaking pure Spanish to me. and I don't know what I don't know what she said. And she said, "No, no inglés," and I know what that means. And I said, "No, I know español." And she was holding a giant crock pot in her hand. I don't have a clue what she wanted. I couldn't even pretend to guess at what she wanted. Anyway, what I was about to say was I kind of wish I hadn't seen the launch trailer for Witch Queen, because I know why there's void light here, and it's because they said it in the trailer. I would like to have been to more of a surprise. I mean, so it's a little bit of a spoiler there, but it's no big deal. I'm not like angry about it, but I just kind of it'd have been a much better reveal if I'd found it out here instead of in that trailer. Wow, this is definitely a hive ship. All the hive architecture brings me back to the Dreadnought. Uh-oh. I make a wrong turn? Oh. It's really too bad we can't go back to the Dreadnought in D2. They don't let you go back to the Dreadnought. I could do that. It'd be fun. Should I go in the water? Okay. I lost again. The lure. Oh boy. Why are there plants in a... Well, I mean, they look dead, but why are there plants aboard a hive ship? Hey guys, what's up? You have a shield. Why do you have a shield? You're an acolyte. Why do you have a shield? I don't like that. I don't like the little spikies that were floating around that acolyte. That was weird.
Did you see that moth just now? It was glowing with light. Not corrupted light, Guardian, but light like ours.
See, that would have been such a better reveal here in the game if I had not seen the trailer. I'm very disappointed. Really wish I hadn't watched that trailer. I don't really need ammo, but I guess I'll throw this down anyway. Tomb ship. I wonder though what... Hey, I was standing there, dick. It didn't take much to take the light out. What does that do? What is that? What did I just see happen? Did that moth like go and put a shield over another hive? It did. It did. When you kill an acolyte with moths around them, their moth flies to another hive. You have to shoot that as well. Oh shit! I love that. I love that mechanic, but still, that's lore-wise. That's odd. That's whoa. That's just whoa. That's all I can put on it. The only word I can put on it is whoa. Tribute. Alright, what's a tribute? Burden of tribute. What the hell does that even mean? I need to collect 5 of them. Oh, I gotta collect it and then bring it to this little green spot. Alright. Tribute bear. Okay, I get it. I gotta get those tributes off the knights. Oh, this tribute bearer is a wizard. Wow, these guys, these hive look totally different up close. Look at this armor that they're wearing. I guess you call it armor. Oh shit. Ooh, a chest. Ooh, another upgrade module. They're giving me upgrade modules just out of chest drops.
The
All right.
Hive shouldn't be able to use the light against us. They shouldn't be able to use it at all. The Traveler would never grant them that power. Not willingly, anyway. This just isn't adding up. We need to find Savathun.
Is my stream still up? Looks like it is. Does everybody hear me and see me okay? That was weird. There's my my streaming software said I'm not authenticated anymore. A failure following authentication token. I guess it's nothing to worry about because, I mean, I'm still live. I guess it's referring to something else. I'll see if I can fix it off stream, but it looks like it's fine for now. I'll leave it be. I mean, my mod view still shows I'm live. I see 4 people watching. Yeah. I still see, I can see myself live. I don't know what that's all about. I'll worry, you know, won't worry about it right now. At least I'm still streaming. Oh, you two look like you gotta be problems. What is that? Is that a statue, or is that supposed to be a? Is that gonna be is that a hive I gotta fight eventually, or is that just a statue? The hell was that? What is this exactly? It's not a thrall. Never seen a thrall look like this. Are those marks on him are getting darker, aren't they? Well, maybe they're not. It's like those black marks were like slowly expanding, increasing in size. Okay, maybe it was just my imagination. It just looked like they were. You think you see that too? Are they actually getting bigger? Oh, they're not moving now. If they were moving a minute ago. If they're still moving, it's really slow. But if they're not moving, but I don't think they're moving now.
In there, I'm picking up unusual energy readings from that statue. Let's make a quick detour.
Should have tried shooting earlier when they were all in that little group. I got it. Next time I come through here, I got to like take a look and like look closely and see if they're there. What I have noticed is they're all on one side. Like the right side, all of these things are dark. On the left side, they're kind of there, but they're kind of like white. Oops. I didn't mean to jump over it. And see, they're kind of still there. I don't know if you can see it on the stream that well, but they're still kind of there, but they're white instead of dark. Where these are, you know, obviously dark. Okay. Okay, those things hurt when I shoot them. Great. So when I gotta kill them from a distance.
Those mobs will attack if you don't shoot them, Guardian.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks. They don't appear on the... They don't show up on the motion tracker either, the radar. Oh god, I gotta do platforming. Oh no. You really are Oryx's sister. You're making me do platforming in your ship. Just like he did on the Dreadnought. Whee! Investigate the statue.
Doesn't look hive. I've never seen anything like it.
I just got chills. That doesn't look like... He's right. That doesn't look like Hive architecture. Is that one of the Black Fleet creatures? I think they're rumored to be called the Veiled. Is that one of the Veiled from the Black Fleet, from the pyramid ships? I'm actually nervous now. Artifact of the Black Fleet.
Like
I was right.
technology. What's it doing on Savathun's ship?
Why am I covered in darkness?
We should bring it back to Ikora.
I don't like this black aura around me. I do not like the fact that Savathun has something from the Black Fleet on her ship. I don't like that at all. I'm very uncomfortable. See, I never got to... okay. Some of you don't know this because you didn't play Destiny 2 when it first came out. But there was a planet that got vaulted called Io. There was a building just like this on Io. I never got to see it from this top angle. But it was supposed to be some kind of, like, very important shrine to the Guardians. Ikora was very devoutly protected to this place on Io. Wonder why there's one of those here on Mars, and why I never knew about it. Okay.
There are reports of Savathun trying to capture Void Light from dead Guardians. Maybe this is related. Maybe she's been studying the Void all this time. Could that be how she did this?
Oh, I do have to go down. What's over here? Nothing of importance? Okay. Well, I check. Never know. Whee. What I just landed in front of? A giant, colorful hive vagina? What is this thing? That's gotta be one of the creepiest things I've ever seen in Destiny. There's Savathun.
That was Savathun. Hurry.
She looks a lot smaller than she looks a lot smaller outside her crystal form, but probably just because I'm way the hell over here. Yeah, I want to follow her. That's a great idea. Yeah, let's follow her. Oh look, they put a Light Bearer Knight. Light Bearer Knight. I like that name. Handled.
No, that's impossible. Is that
That's a ghost.
ghost? It can't be. Get me closer, Guardian. I have to see.
Oh shit! He came back.
I can't believe it. Why is that ghost helping the hive? We
Wait,
have
what
to
did you
stop
just
this
do?
ghost. There's no other way.
Oh
That's
god,
the
he's using a Sentinel super. Woo! He just wants a piece of my ass. Ha, bitch! R1 press was when standing nearby. Finish the ghost of defeated hive light bearers. Where? Oh.
I can't believe this. We have to keep going. Oh, Traveler, what has she done to you?
So we have to kill the hive and then kill the ghost they have. I do the tribute thing again. All right. Oh crap, they disappeared just like the motes in Gambit. Oh, got it. I didn't know those tributes disappeared. Oh. Yay. Another upgrade module. Yes, let's go through the creepy hive portal. I love going through these things. I swear to God, if we go to the Ascendant Realm, it's going to be dark as hell and I'll be pissed. Guardian, you gained access to the untapped potential of the light. I'm going to pick my subclass. Are we doing this again? I've already looked at this. They already gave me this tutorial once. Why are they giving it to me again? Yeah, aspect, we know. Okay. Wants to show us this because it has to, I guess. I did already. Tell me about fragments. Thank you, I got it. Okay, can we move on along now? Okay, I don't need that tutorial bugging me. Alright, so where the hell are we?
What is this place?
Queen's Bailey.
This doesn't look like a hive throne world.
No, it doesn't. It's actually, one thing for sure, it's at least not the Ascendant Realm. Oh, shit. Thank you, good rocket launcher. Let's go in.
Tell me, oh honored guest.
It's her.
You think?
How did you do it? How did you find the strength to destroy something so like yourself?
Destroy something so like yourself? What does that mean? Referring to what? Defeat Savathun. Yeah, right, that's
Look in the
happening.
mirror and kill what looks bad.
Hi, y'all. Thought maybe I could just have a conversation, but, you know, if not, that's fine. Void Walker running the feed void aspect. Defeat. I didn't see what that said. I clearly got a challenge done though. Hi. I'm sure this won't work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. That wasn't her. There's no way that was her.
You're strong, but that was too easy.
See? What? Threadbound? What is that? What is threadbound?
It did seem too easy, didn't it?
One of you's bad. I don't need three of you. A projection. Okay. Eris, I could use one of those summoning, calling things that you normally do. I wish I knew where this authentication error was coming from. I was getting on XSplit. Wow, that's a big hole. That's a big hole I made when I landed. Guess I'm heavier than I look.
Guardian? Guardian, do you read me?
We're here, Ikora. We're back on Mars.
Back? From where?
Savathun's throne world.
I know, we should have checked in. But we had Savathun in our sights. That might have been our only shot at her, and we couldn't miss it.
Nice to hear the Guardian as a voice again.
That's not like Savathun to allow herself to be seen so easily.
There's something else. Before we left the ship, we ran into one of her knights. And
It had a ghost, Ikora. Same as any other light bearer.
A ghost? A hive knight with a ghost? But that means...
Savathun stole the light. But that's impossible, isn't it?
Impossible. With Savathun, nothing is impossible.
I got kind of a badass looking walk, don't I? I'm like, yeah, I'm a badass. I'm a badass. That's right, I'm a badass. Oh, you know what? I'm a badass.
Savathun, the Witch Queen. Hive god of cunning and lies. Hive legend tells us she was born on a hostile, far-off planet, where she would have lived a short, uneventful life. If it weren't for the worm familiar that warned of an impending cataclysm. And so, she led her siblings into the depths, where the ancient worm gods offered them immeasurable power in exchange for endless blood tribute. From this, the Hive were born, and countless civilizations were condemned to extinction. For untold ages, they devoured life and light wherever it could be found, facing little resistance. Until they tried to take on the Guardians. After the death of her brother Oryx, Savathun went into hiding. Not out of fear, of course, but out of strategy. Because Savathun knows the best way to beat your enemy is to join them.
That's how she took control of Osiris.
She infiltrated the Vanguard, weakening us from within. And stealing our most sacred resource. The one thing we thought she could never touch. The light.
I've always wondered, like, where is? Well, we don't know it for any of the alien races. But I was wondering, where is the Hive home world? Like, where did they? They mentioned that when she was born, Savathun, and then the Hive were born after that. So that means that somehow Savathun was like the. Hey, there's my ship. Savathun was like the Savathun existed before the Hive, so she is like the pinnacle of the hierarchy of the Hive. She's even higher than Oryx. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a short break here. We just got into Destiny, I know. But we're going to take a short break here. I'm going to get me something to eat real quick. And I want to see if I can figure out this authentication. If I didn't have this authentication error popping up on my screen over here, I would just go to a BRB screen while I eat. But since I am getting this authentication error, I want to see if I can fix it by just restarting my streaming software. Hopefully that'll fix the problem, because that didn't start happening until like a minute or so ago. So I'm going to stop the stream, eat, and I'll come back in like half an hour at best. So I'll be back in a little bit. We're not going to bother reading anybody because we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Keep me tabbed up on your computer, on your phone, or whatever. So as soon as I come back live, you'll know. So we'll be back in about maybe half an hour. Shouldn't even be an hour. Half an hour at best. See you in a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Bye.